Spine Ticks Pressing here, everybody, and today we're going to be working on part 2 of the tick, and we're going to be leaf casting these interior pages. So let's get to it! Alright everybody, we're here for the second phase of tick number 1. And you can see I've got my makeshift leaf casting tub right here, and you can see the areas where I'm going to leaf cast. I'm going to leaf cast this area here, and I've removed a lot of the dead rusty paper, not all of it, but most of it. You can still see a little bit of a residue around the outside, some staining, but it's much better. And what I've done to try to match the paper is I've done two things. I purchased a donor book. I purchased the Tick. Well, let me go ahead and show it to you. It is the Tick Big Yule Log Special, and it came out a few years after this book did. But the one thing that I noticed is that the paper, I had another donor book, the interior paper just wasn't a good color. Now this paper right here, this is the donor paper, and I want it to be a really close match, and you can see it's not quite the same. It's similar, it's white, but it's not, the donor book is a little whiter than my original sample. So what I've done is I've actually taken a piece of a third donor book, and you can see it has kind of that a little bit of a darker color, and I've added some strips that I cut from the Tick Yule Log Special. I removed some strips from the top, bottom. I did not take any areas where there was ink, and added it to my blending mix, and it's been soaking in here. I might add a little bit more paper. I did add a sheet of this sketch paper, which I thought was a pretty decent match, but again, a little whiter. I feel like it's a little closer to my goal color, but not quite the same. And I've added it in there, and you can see it's much darker looking than the other paper. So the next step is I'm gonna let it soak for a little bit and then blend it up. Let me show you some of the things I've got here on my table. Obviously I've got my donor book pieces here. Don't think I'm gonna need any more of those. And I've got my sample. This is, I think, the first interior page. And this particular page I washed to try to get some of the staining out here and there. And so the next step is I'm going to wet this down, primarily this area right in here, kind of this strip right here along the spine. I'm going to be really careful not to get it too wet. And then from there, my blended mix, I'm going to add it right in there with these little dispenser bottles. And you can purchase these dispenser bottles. I think I got these at Harbor Freight for 99 cents or $1.99, something like that. So the makeup of my table is pretty simple. I've just got a little box or a little tub. I've added some cups, screwed them down to my tub. I've added underneath a little drain that I can hook up my vacuum to, and yeah, so I'm going to get this area wet and then apply the leaf casting there, and then let it kind of settle in, and that's what's coming up next. All right, I've blended up my solution, and I am not gonna leaf cast very much. I have a small area that needs to be covered, so I'm going to probably add a little bit more paper and see if I can create a big blend of this so that I can use it for all my other pages. So far I'm liking the color composition, how it looks right now. And so I'm going to add some more paper, make a larger mix, and then we'll go to some leaf casting. Alright, I have applied the leaf casting to the top of the book where the large hole was. You can see the smaller hole that was actually a staple hole, left that intact. And let's look at the bottom one. Here it is. So at this point I'm going to connect the vacuum and create a little bit of suction, just a little bit, and go from there. All right, here we go. I'm going to add a little bit of suction. Okay, here's the next interior page that I'm working on, and I'm going to be applying the leaf casting just like so. A lot of moisture is coming out, so I'm just allowing the moisture to dissipate into the existing hole. Now let's do this side. You can kind of see when you get a clump in there, right? I'm just kind of letting gravity do its work. This one needs a little bit more, a little more pulp. Trying to add a little bit of pressure to the bottle to allow some more pulp to come out. I'm going to hit this one a little bit more. That top one I'm not real pleased with because I see like a little bit of area. A little too much came out there, so now I'm going to clean it up. Alright, so there's the area. I've cleaned it up. And let's see if we can get this angle. And at this point we're just allowing the moisture to sort of seep through the hole into the book. And same thing with this one. The hole that you see there at the top, it looks a little dark, so I'm going to probably add a little bit more of the mixture to that. And this page I think will be finished. So one of the issues with leaf casting I've learned is getting the pages to fold properly. And so what I've done is I've taken a rod. I purchased this at the hardware store. It was about a 4-foot rod. I cut it in half, drilled some holes, and this is my blue light. It's my blue light chamber. And so I've put some holes in the side and ran the rod through so that I can hang the leaf casted pages as they dry. And you can see right here on this one corner, it's really important to be able to get the page to sort of fold over so that you get a good, a nicely folded page. Because if you let it dry flat, there is a chance that the paper may not kind of mold the way you want it to mold, and you won't be able to fold the page properly for putting the entire stack back together. So this is something I developed, and here are a couple pages drying during the leaf casting process. Alright, so here we are. I'm very pleased with the color match for this book. I'll try to get there as close as I can without getting shadows in the book. Here are some of the interior pages. And you can see it's a pretty good match. Not real excited with some of the wrinkling that developed, but all in all, pretty pleased with the way the pages look. This is one of my original pages. I haven't completed this one in terms of leaf casting because I'm still going to remove this, but this is the page that I used to create holes in all of the leaf casting that I've done. So you can see, I think it's a pretty good match color-wise. Color-wise, looks good. You can see I've already got some of the holes placed in the leaf casting. There's the top, there's the bottom. And let's take a look at the last page. There's the top, there's the bottom. So there you have it. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I'm real happy with the match of the leaf casting of the pages. So stay tuned to the next episode. The next episode will be leaf casting the cover. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you being a patron of this channel. Please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Take a look at some of these videos here on the screen. And as always, happy hunting.